Ryan still in solitary?
Well, they put us in here because we just really basically will not accept their guilt. They want us, inmate facility. They want us to accept that what we've done or what we're doing here is our fault. And I've had several actual guards say, well, if you don't want to be here, then you shouldn't have committed a crime. And I've tried, of course, to explain to them, hey, look, we've not been convicted, and we are innocent. We maintain our innocence.
Right.
But and I know without a doubt that what we did was right, but they insist that us to accept guilt, and we will not do that. And
good for you.
We will not allow them to treat us in a way that says that we're guilty.
Yeah.
And so they put us in these holes, in these cells, and feed us through a little hole in the door. And I have to fight to get a phone call out, and won't go into the details there. But I'm right now standing on my knees with the phone receiver. It's like an old payphone receiver through the little hole in the door, and I'm talking to you guys, and I'm at risk doing that. I'll just leave it at that.
Ammon, what's it like in the solitary? How are they treating you in there? I mean, do you have proper clothing and heat, or what's the deal in there?
They feed us 3 times a day. It's just for me it's barely enough, but it is okay.
Right.
And I don't ever come out. I do not ever come out. And if we come out, for example, if we get a video visit from our friends or family,
right,
they require us to get on our knees, put our hand through the port so they can handcuff us, and then when they take us out, there's 2 or 3 of them that actually hold on to us literally like we're just monsters. But
Man.
I don't do that much, or don't have an opportunity to do that much, which I wouldn't anyway. But I literally just stay in here in this cell. It's about a 11 by 7 square concrete room, and the last time I came out was a week ago, and I've been in here for like 28 days. So. But I'm feeling strong. I want people to know that. I want people to understand that, that they're not breaking us down. They're actually teaching us to be strong and to stand. I know that what we're doing is right. I know that.
Right.
I know. To get freedom is to not accept that things are wrong.
Well, and what's powerful to me, Ammon, is that even in chains, and I've been trying to explain this to people, and they kind of scoff at me. I say, even in chains, they're still refusing to comply. It's not about violence or hate. It's about saying, I'm not gonna let myself be treated like an animal. I'm not gonna let myself be taken into the courtroom and pretend like I'm being treated like a human, when in reality I'm being treated like an animal.
Yeah, the innocent man is the greatest threat to them.
Yeah.
And we have to maintain that we're innocent and not accept the guilt that they try to place on us. And how else can we do that if we don't say, look, you can't treat me that way. I'm an innocent man.
Right.
I have my rights, and you can't take them. How else can we do that? And anybody that says that, excuse me, that compliance is what's needed and what we must do is an absolute ignorant to history. There's nobody in history, that has preserved rights or brought good to this world that was compliant. Nobody. And you point somebody out. I mean, we could go from, Martin Luther, the first Martin Luther, to Martin Luther King Jr., to Daniel,
to Jesus. Paul. Yeah.
We can go to the Lord.
Right.
And look at them. None of them accepted the wrong that was happening.
Right.
And they made a difference. Can you imagine what our world would look like right now if those people, John Wesley, I could go on and on and on.
Right.
Many of them lost their lives, but but they stood and would not comply because they knew it was wrong. Look at the founders.
Yeah, compliance is never the message. You know, we're to be loving and compassionate and not to be out seeking vengeance, I would argue, Ammon. But obedience to tyranny never brings justice.
Well, see, you can't do it and revile. We're not supposed to revile and be wicked and mean to those that we're not complying with. That's not acceptable.
Right.
But we must not comply. We cannot comply unless you just want any liberty that's left gone. If
and
you
most
want
of them
that,
are.
then comply.
Yeah.
But
It's
if you
fear.
want to hang on to the very liberties that we have, and if you want to get more back, you have to say, look, this is wrong, and no matter what the consequences, I am not going to comply. Period.
Ammon, people are afraid. Well, I know it's and here you are still standing up. What can you tell people that are afraid?
Well, I'll tell them this, and pardon me if I'm being a little bold, but we don't have a government problem in this country. We don't have a police abuse problem in this country. We don't have a spending problem in this country. We don't have an economy problem in this country. We don't have a criminal problem in this country, or a drug problem, or a moral problem. We don't have those problems. What we have is a courage problem. We have a bunch of cowards who won't stand and face a true problem.
Well, and I think
that's the problem. We won't face it. We're so afraid of our comforts being taken, or our food, or our pleasures.
It's from an inmate facility.
Right.
We're so afraid of that we will not stand and face it, and it's just going to destroy us.
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to come out in the end. And our moral problem, to me, Ammon, our biggest one is our sin in this country, our refusal to acknowledge our fears and put aside our fear and stand up and love our neighbor has made us cowards. It's made cowards of our men. It's made cowards of our nation. And so all of these abuses that we see that are very real, what you're saying is that it's all because of us. It's all because of the people sitting by and allowing it to happen and sitting silent as their neighbor is kicked in the head.
Well, it is, and it's twofold, because one is we're not willing to stand up when our neighbor's getting kicked in the head, and two is we seek safety so much that we're willing to give up liberty. We want to feel so safe, but like Benjamin Franklin, security over liberty deserves neither and receives none.
Well, and Ammon, you tell me if you think I'm off on this, but it seems to me in your work and in activism that I and others have done, it's not about telling people, oh, go out and pick up your guns and start a war. I mean, we need a revolution of hearts. If people would have a mindset of not complying, whether it's at the courthouse or at the protest or in their community, like you did in Oregon, like we did at the Bundy Ranch, if you with peace and principle get a group of people and you just say no, I feel like this is why you're in solitary. I mean, yes, they want you to comply with them, but I think what really scares them, Ammon, is that you and Ryan bring hope to those prisoners in there. You're saying you don't have to be animals. You don't have to be treated like pigs and like animals. You can stand up for yourself. And what they're trying to kill is hope. And if people would resist, if many would resist in small ways with principle, I feel like we would get somewhere. Okay, I know they're going to cut us off, so I'll let you take that last minute to say whatever you need.
Well, I just reemphasize, that this was the home of the free, and because of the brave. And that is the only way to maintain liberty, is through bravery. And we become brave when we know that what we're doing is right, when we have faith in a God who is just, and we know that what we're doing is what he would have us do, and what in our hearts, so we know. And we stand on that. And we put the fear aside.
From an inmate facility.
We put the fear aside, and we do what is right and let the consequences follow. That's just what we have to do. And
your time is up.
Thanks, Ammon. We love you.